This isn't really a review, more just random bitching about the train wreck that was Charlotte. Bashing Charlotte has become such a huge bandwagon that everyone's jumping on. It's become so popular to do so that even Giguk made a video where he added nothing new or interesting to the cacophony. Is the hate warranted? Absolutely. But is jumping on a bandwagon just because it's a bandwagon? Of course not. But I actually had hopes for the show and have been a key fan for a while, so I had been invested in the project from the start. This is what happens when you get excited about something, but then there was really no excuse for the show to be as bad as it was. It had all the right people behind it, it had PA Works, it had Leah for the opening, and there were even hints dropped that it might have been connected to Angel Beats somehow, which turned out to be total bullshit. I think all of the blame can be placed on Jun Maida's writing. The show had a strong first episode, then decided to spend half the remaining episodes on pointless slice of life crap that hilariously tried to pretend it actually had a point at the end. Then episode 7, though not perfect, was an actual high point, but then it was all downhill from there, becoming an incoherent butt mess of random plot developments and plot conveniences and assholes. You showed potential at the beginning, but immediately became just another impotent male protagonist who's just a passive observer of what the other characters are doing. Now offered occasional glimpses of potential greatness, but was far too inconsistent to take advantage of any of them. Takajo was hilarious and could have been a cool bro-type character, but was relegated to comic relief butt monkey. Yusarin was the second pointless moe shit character because apparently just one wasn't enough. He had zero depth and was an idol for no apparent reason other than pandering, and all she did was act moe. Seriously, she does these things called magic spells where all she does is say brain dead shit in a diabetes-inducing way. But then again, that makes sense, since moe is quintessentially casting a spell on the numb masses. She was never interesting except for when her sister took over, and they tried to resolve an issue with their parents that was shoehorned in at the end and was impossible to feel anything about, since it was never established before and Yusarin is a worthless character anyways. The first pointless moe shit character was Ayumi, who was an obnoxious moe blob character who suddenly became relevant as a plot device in the middle of the show and died, and I felt nothing because she had no depth other than ketchup and having to yell half her lines because aren't I just so fucking moe? Please care about me, I'm moe. Just making a character moe does not make me care about them. And Maida apparently isn't even above the incest fetish anymore because it's obvious that she and her brother have a very questionable relationship, but Yu doesn't care because incest. Hey Maida, remember Otanashi and his sister Hatsune? Remember how their relationship was natural and clean and Hatsune wasn't a boring moe blob that looked like a fucking alien so it actually was possible to care about what was going on? And then the hilariously bad time travel aspect suddenly gets introduced and of course allows Ayumi to come back to life, cheapening the impact of one of the only good episodes in the fucking show. In the last few episodes we have some random antagonists introduced out of nowhere for no reason other than to fix the problem of, oops, we have no plot. It seriously felt like a shonen filler arc, except that some things that happened during it actually carried over to the last episode. And boy was that last episode a doozy. This one episode is probably the most rushed episode of any anime I've ever seen. There was easily enough material here for an entire cour, maybe even 2. Maida, you wasted half a dozen episodes on nothing but only gave this idea 1 episode? You fucking fraud. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that the fact that he was also writing the Angel Beats visual novel at the same time had something to do with it, but I'm too upset about it to give him that much. He made lofty claims about Charlotte, that it was supposed to fix Angel Beats' flaws, that it was supposed to be focused on the characters, but the problem with Angel Beats wasn't the characters at all. They were actually pretty fucking good. The problem was that it rushed through arcs too quickly and the pacing was way too fast. Charlotte's characters were ass and weren't focused on at all, and the story was even more poorly paced than Angel Beats. And the moments in Charlotte that were supposed to be feelsy had no impact at all. So Charlotte did nothing that Angel Beats did right and did everything it did wrong, but worse. And Angel Beats at least had the excuse of being planned as a 2-cour show, but being cut down to 1 for stupid time slot reasons. For Charlotte, Maida had all the time he needed. Charlotte is second only to Little Busters for worst key anime to date. How embarrassing. I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up.